Hi, Darrell DeWard with Icon Realty Group, and I wanted to provide a quick update on the real estate market here in West Michigan. And by now, you've probably heard that the health department added some restrictions as it pertains to the buying and selling of homes here in West Michigan, well, across the state. But I wanted to provide some insight as to what those changes are and how that might affect the purchasing or selling of a home here, at least for the short time. So. In summary, the restrictions are going to have very minimal effect on real estate, at least how we do things. Very few things are changes, overall requirements or restrictions on what we do. My concern, though, is more on the perception of those changes, and then maybe what kind of changes might be coming down the road as well, and how that might affect real estate on the buying and the selling side. So in summary, there's perceived implications from this, and we experienced this in the spring, as a lot of people, when we had the stay-at-home order and different things that came into place, there was some there was some tension and stress naturally as a consequence of that. And then when a lot of people are looking to sell their home or even looking to purchase a home, there was this almost paralysis that took place that we witnessed in the real estate profession, and most people didn't know how to navigate that, and it became somewhat challenging, except that the people that were in the know, that knew how to use technology, knew what the market offered for buyers and sellers, those were the people that really won. That the people that were able to look at things objectively and figure out where those opportunities were. I think we're sort of coming into that period now again, although again the restrictions themselves are not limited right now to a stay-at-home order. I think there is a perception that and almost a perfect storm that could be brewing here in terms of how that might affect the average person that's looking to sell their home or maybe even purchase a home. But I think especially on the selling side. What I'm referring to is whenever there's restrictions in place, it tends to leave people anxious and nervous, and then you combine that with the weather and the traditional thought process that real estate sort of shuts down in the winter time, and spring is the time to sell a home and to buy a home and that kind of thing. And really this theory has been flipped on its head here the last few years, as our market has been really a year-round market with very few exceptions. Maybe a couple weeks during the holidays, during Christmas, and that's about it. I mean, it's really a year-round market right now, as buyers are continuing to be hungry, looking and waiting, and just desperately looking for that new property to hit the market that might be of interest to them. And on the sales side of it, there's some unique opportunities to sell, because in a situation like this, typically that fear and that anxiety leads to people just saying, you know what, we're just going to hold out. We're going to wait and weather the storm. We don't know what's going on. And so we saw a massive reduction in, we already have an epidemic problem in West Michigan with few homes for sale, a lack of inventory. But what we have during a situation where there's that fear and anxiety is listings just drop. There's just even fewer homes to choose from. So an informed seller sees an opportunity right now to sell their home, take advantage of this market. Even if there were a stay-at-home order, there's a lot of technology and things that we can do to take advantage of that unique period of time. And I helped countless clients of mine during that period of time, and kind of going against the grain and listing a home when most of everyone else were deciding to pull their home off the market or choosing to wait it out. And so those sellers really took advantage of even a smaller amount of competition on the sales side. And then on the buy side, there's opportunities as well, because though there has been historically fewer homes available for sale during a time where there's anxiety and fear with all that's going on right now with this COVID thing, there's opportunities on the buy side, because there's a little bit of an element of motivation that's more present in the seller, on the seller side in a lot of cases. So there again, during the spring and summer, late winter, early spring especially, I helped a lot of my buyers buy homes in very unconventional ways and help them to get good deals with good terms. So there's some good opportunities there, I think, that might be coming here, especially again as we face the cruddier weather, the several month gray skies, as I call it. So I think it's just a matter of navigating that and looking for the right opportunities depending on what area and price range you're looking at. So here are the changes that are affecting real estate right now, at least the changes that come as a result of the health department's orders. The first one is there's no open houses. Now, big deal. Maybe a lot of people are thinking that how does that really affect things, especially when you consider few open houses really result in the sale of a home. Open houses traditionally have been done as a primary method to self-promote, an agent self-promoting themselves, and to give the perception to a homeowner, their client seller, that they're doing something if a home is not selling. Now, what has transpired here the last year or two is that open houses have been increasingly used as a way to not as a gimmick, but really as a way to drive a feeding frenzy. So what has often been done here again over the last couple of years with a lot of frequency is, and especially in a certain price point, is there's a delay of showings until an open house, and then a delay or a delay of offer presentation to the seller until maybe after that weekend's open house. And so that presents a challenge to a buyer because they're walking in knowing that they're going to be competing with multiple offers. There's really not a way around it. I've helped a few of my clients bypass things like this during that period of time, but the general rule has been, if there's a delay of offers and it's advertised that way and stuff, it just becomes kind of challenging for a buyer. And so there's upside here with no more open houses, because although there's virtual open houses and some other things that may take place, probably will, with fewer open houses and fewer agents and homeowners willing to do things in a creative way like that, or just not having the know-how to know how to do that, there could be some opportunities for buyers in this, because it sort of, I don't want to say levels the playing field, but it just gives you more opportunities to have fewer situations where you're competing into a feeding frenzy, where you're walking into 10 or 15 other offers. There still may be a delay of offer presentation and that kind of thing, but an open house tends to exacerbate that and just make it all the more of a situation where you're just having to compete with a lot of offers all at once. So there could be some opportunities there. The rest of the changes really don't have a whole lot of effect. Masks are now required at showings, listing appointments, just normal things like that. Where it's been the last several months is it's up to the homeowner to decide whether they require masks and hand sanitizer and that kind of thing. Socially distance, it's their home, their decision. Now masks are required. Social distancing is required and that kind of thing. Only the members of a home can, or an agent, or the people that you're showing the home to, can be present during the home. The homeowner can't be present, for example, during showings, which traditionally they're not anyways, but in certain instances a homeowner would want to be there, and now that's no longer required. And then lastly, what has happened regularly is that there's overlapping showings. Our market offers so few really good quality homes for sale that when they do come up, and the buyer demand has been so consistently high, that there's sometimes overlapping showings where you're showing a home at the same time somebody else is there, or as they're leaving, or that kind of thing, and now that's no longer permitted. It's only one set of people can be in a home at one time with their agent. So that's about it. But again, it comes back to the perception of things. Anytime there's restrictions, I think there's challenges and there's stress, but then there's opportunity and upside. So it's just a matter of how you want to look at it, what kind of lens you want to see it through. A good agent will advise their client on what their opportunities are for them, and develop a plan accordingly and help them through that. So I hope this has been informative. This is where things are just before Thanksgiving 2020, and I'll continue to keep you all posted on new developments. Thank you and have a great day.